Hey, it's Pastor Benjamin, and I'm coming to you with a quick announcement type update video. Nothing's wrong, nothing bad. Just wanted to update you about a change we're going to be making to our worship services related to the time of prayer. We're going to be expanding it to include a few more people, not on a given Sunday necessarily, but across the Sundays in a month. So here's the deal. We have, for the last few years, had what we've called the time of pastoral prayer. And it's been wonderful, meaningful. I think, a pastor elder, whether a volunteer or a staff pastor, goes up there and leads us in a time, 3, 4, 5, 8 minutes, praying for themes related to the worship service, or just general biblical Christian themes, or attributes of God and ways that they encourage or challenge, or whatever they do in our hearts as believers, or maybe praying for missionaries, or maybe praying for issues going on in the world or in our local community. All of that is a good thing. But it's been pretty narrow in that who has prayed. If you think about our church in the last few years, that's really what we've done. But if you went back longer, there's been more people praying. For many years, we had a number of gifted women begin our worship service with a time of announcements and a prayer. And so that's just one example. I think during COVID, all of everything got shaken up, sort of. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to move to a time of prayer. Say there's 4 Sundays in a month. I know sometimes there's 5, but we'll have one staff elder pray. And then maybe we'll have one, maybe the third week it'll be a volunteer elder, but then maybe a gifted man in prayer and a gifted woman in prayer across those 4 weeks. And so it will look like a little more variety. It may not go in that order. We may have baptisms, we may have communion, we may change things. But in general, we're going to be inviting more people to pray. They're all going to be members of our church. They're going to be vetted in that way. We've kind of just invited a few people for now to participate, maybe more later. But we wanted to tell you that just because for some it will feel like a small change, some it might feel like a bigger change. I will say nothing about our view of eldership or preaching in a service is going to change. But if you have questions about that, you'd be welcome to ask and reach out. I'd love to follow up. Really what drove this for me, and I think a few others, was thinking through, as we preach through 1 Corinthians and just receiving the Word of God and hearing that in their church, which I think I wanted to call it a model for churches. 1 Corinthians in some ways was a model for how not to be a church. But in chapter 11, Paul speaks of the way that men and women can and should pray in church, in the public worship setting. And I was thinking about this, like, well, I guess through song, as a woman is leading song prayers, like songs are kind of prayers set to music. So women were praying and leading in prayer in that regard, but in the normal sense of leading a time of prayer, that wasn't really happening. And so I think as I was looking at scriptures, like, okay, we're not really doing that. And what would it mean to thoughtfully move towards that in a way that's healthy and edifies the body? So that's what we're trying to do. I wanted you to know. I'm going to say something about it on Sunday. I just wanted to say a short video here to give you a little more rationale than I'll probably do on Sunday morning. And look forward to seeing you at church.